Hi guys, MrRoflWaffles here. What you're seeing on your screen now is from the Back in Black Black Ops 3 trailer. It was the very first reveal I think that we ever had for anything Black Ops 3 related, basically. And this text is inside that trailer. It's hidden in there. It's this weird cuneiform variant thing that I've spent hours and hours trying to figure out, and so far have had very, very little luck. So the reason I'm telling you about this is because in the new Black Ops 3 Zombies teaser that we have, that's this image on your screen now, you can see that same text. It's in the top left, and actually if we go back to this, I've got an extra layer so that you can compare here, and I'm showing you this just to make it extremely clear that it is the same. So you have your curvy bracket and then your angular bracket, and the curvy bracket has this arrow going through it, and that is exactly what we have just here on this image. So this piece of text, this cuneiform, this code, whatever you want to call it, this script, needs to be figured out. But first of all, let's talk about the teaser itself. We've had two teasers already. This is the first one, zombie in the background. That's about it. Got some legs, lovely jubbly. Then we've got this big metal door. It's a solid metal door, unlike what I said yesterday. I think I was looking at the image wrong yesterday. I've had that pointed out to me by a couple of people. I mean, you've got your chains on here, and you've got like maybe some rust on the side there or something like that. Red stuff at the top, and then I've already mentioned the chains, but behind them, it looks like there's some text here, and if we look at this particular part of it, that looks the same as that cuneiform that I was talking about before to some extent, but it's a real reach because the image is such bad quality, and it's behind a load of text and some chains and some friggin' film grain or whatever you want to call it. So it's very hard to make out any of the text or numbers or whatever is going on down here. In my opinion, this kind of looks like the number 8 and then 6, but you could just as easily say that this is actually an angle bracket like we see here. So again, it's basically really damn difficult to make out what the hell is going on in the second teaser, but we can rest assured that we at least have a metal door. Then we move on to the third teaser. We have a zombie. Yep. Simple stuff. We've got another zombie. Okay, simple stuff. The zombie looks like he's wearing, potentially, and again, this could be incorrect, but either suspenders or like a sort of shoulder strap, like a gun holster type thing. I think that is quite likely. It's the sort of aesthetic that I'm getting from this, and you guys may agree or disagree. I'm not saying that I'm 100% correct with any of this. It's just what I am gleaning from these images. He's wearing a hat of some kind that looks sort of like a trilby or a fedora, something like that. And we can see that they've got yellow eyes as well. The other interesting thing in this image, obviously, being the fact that we have that cuneiform text in the top left. And not only is it there, as I can show you sort of here, not only is it the same as the stuff that we saw in the Back in Black trailer, but interestingly enough, it's also doubled up. It looks like on the left and on the right, it's the same thing. I don't really know why. I mean, we don't see a lot of it, so it's hard to say that that's completely, like, 100% definitely the case, but it looks like we have the same thing doubled up there. What it means, I don't know. I've been working my butt off trying to figure it out. There are a couple of things that are wrong with it, such as the fact that you look here and you have these sort of angular brackets at the start, and you also have them at the end, but they're inverted, and so I was thinking, okay, well, maybe these are sort of to signify that this is a single string of characters, so that if you're looking at it in the trailer, you don't mistake it for a continuing passage with a load of other, because there's loads of other floating numbers and letters and stuff as well. So that's what I initially thought, and then I thought, okay, well, we've got these sort of bendy brackets here like this, and our angular brackets, but why do the bendy brackets go the other way? Because that doesn't really fit with any of the cuneiform alphabets that I'm familiar with. I've been looking. I mean, there are some similarities with things like Ugaritic and stuff like that, but it generally just doesn't quite work in my opinion. So I'm going to keep trying with this. If you guys have any ideas, then feel free to let me know. One thing I will say, though, is that going back to this, we've got a zombie wearing maybe suspenders, quite clearly a fedora or something along those lines, and we also in the past have had in this, let me just get rid of that, I was working on some other stuff. In this original poster, the pre-order poster for Black Ops 3, we've got a city down here at the bottom, right? I'm sure you guys remember that. There's also the card, which I've talked about a bit in my other videos and things like that. And you've got your zombie wearing his nice white shirt. Lovely stuff. But the city itself, when overlaid with this image here, yeah, the city image is here that you can see, you'll notice that they're extremely similar, and that's because these images are exactly what Treyarch used when making this poster. That is literally the same thing. We can overlay it as I'm showing you here. Someone on Twitter actually allowed me to use their video, their image for this, so thank you very much to them. But you can see that you can overlay it, and it's a pretty much perfect fit of the city on top of the city. The zombie city on top of the actual city. The city is Chicago. I've talked about this in other videos. And so it looks to me like, because of the combination of the hat that you've got here, the suspenders or the holster or whatever it is, and just generally the fact that it looks like we may well be going to Chicago, I think that it's a good possibility we're getting maps set during maybe the Great Depression or something like that, sort of 1930s era Chicago, with a load of zombies, obviously, with yellow eyes, as I've mentioned. And I feel like the sort of gangster aesthetic might be quite relevant to the Black Ops 3 Zombies map that is being teased here, because, I mean, I feel like that is a natural step for them to go in. If they're going to Chicago, why go to Chicago, right? Is there a reason particularly that they want to bring us to this place? If you have any ideas about why that might be, drop them in the comments section. But I feel like if they're going to go to Chicago, they may as well sort of exploit the gangster culture and stuff that you might associate with sort of 1930s Great Depression era Chicago and things like that. So that is quite possible in my opinion. I'd also like to say that the Q&A form here, I don't know if that is related to anything specific in terms of whether it be characters or maybe a certain group or something like that. Obviously, we have this Only the Cursed Survive poster, and it's a really interesting one, this, and I'm going to be making other videos about it because there's so much to talk about here, and there's so much we can sort of draw out of this and try and create a sort of a picture of Black Ops 3 Zombies and the aesthetic that they're really aiming for using this poster. We can really do a lot, but it will be too much for me to cram it all into this one video. I wanted to talk about the fact that we've had 3 teasers now. Zombie, wall with door, and more zombies with fedora, cuneiform, and a sort of interesting attire, as I've mentioned. We've got the fact that the cuneiform is the same as the Back in Black cuneiform, and I need to figure out what it says, and I'm working on it, I promise, but it's difficult. What can I say? There's not a lot of actual text that we have to work with here, and so if I had like a whole passage of this, you could do various other things to make it easier to figure out what it says, but currently, for all I know, this could be just a font that Treyarch have made up, and we're going to need more text to be able to actually figure out what it says. Then we've got this as well that I wanted to mention. This is the original reveal image for the fact that they were going to be revealing Black Ops 3 Zombies at San Diego Comic-Con. Before they showed us this, we didn't know where it was going to be revealed. And I thought it was interesting that in the picture, we see Mob of the Dead, or zombies from Mob of the Dead, rather. And the significance of that is that Mob of the Dead is set at the end of the 20s. And so it would be quite a natural progression to go from the end of the 20s with Mob of the Dead and with all these things from the Origins trailers and stuff like that with Richtofen that were extremely peculiar, such as the fact that he had those blood vials of the characters from Mob of the Dead and things like that. This could all very easily lead into the Black Ops 3 Zombies experience that Treyarch have been teasing us with. I've been MrRoflWaffles. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video. If you have, then smash the like button. I spent a little longer trying to figure out exactly what the cuneiform meant in this, so I apologize for the late upload today. It's already pretty much midnight here in the UK, but I've been MrRoflWaffles. I'm sure you guys will have enjoyed. I hope you have. If you haven't, then leave a like. If you haven't, let me know why in the comment section down below, and I'll see you very soon in another Black Ops 3 Zombies or other Call of Duty video. Bye-bye.